Hey guys, this is Gina Versa from the Waffle Press podcast. I'm joined by some cool guests today. We got a very awesome interview. We're talking about YOLO Silver Destiny. Guys, can you introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. I'm Michael Cusack. I created the show and do the voice of Lucas and various other characters, silly characters.
I'm I'm Todor Manojlovic, and I'm the voice of Rachel, and yeah, a bunch of other silly characters as well.
And I'm Sarah Bishop, and I'm the voice of Sarah.
Nice. Yeah, really excited to talk to you guys. How you feeling about the finale?
Excited.
Yeah, happy. Yeah, very very happy. It was really fun to do the finale in season one. So yeah, I'm very very happy with how it turned out, and yeah, feeling good.
Nice. Yeah. Just kind of, can you talk a little bit, because I love all your shows, Michael, and can you talk a little bit about the kind of like Australian humor that you use in the show? Did you ever feel worried how it translates to international audiences?
Not particularly worried because it's not YOLO specifically isn't even though it's set in Australia, it's almost like a bizarro, surreal, warped version of Australia. So this like it's I feel like it's pretty broad in that sense because it's almost like a fantasy land, and like what I've noticed too is like if there is some Australian expressions or like very specific Australian stuff that's said, it's usually like a lot of Americans think it's either made up or just like exaggerated anyway and kind of think it's funny. So yeah, it does all right. Like it's so yeah, yeah. In short answer, like we just go with the flow, man. Just spell it
Yeah,
out.
that was my first thought actually when YOLO, the first season came to America, and I went, really? Like, are we going to have to Americanize it a little bit to make it more understandable, or? We didn't have to. We didn't pull punches at all, and it must have translated somehow. I guess it's
Adult
just,
Swim has never had a note about that ever. They've
Yeah.
never
No.
said make that more American ever. So
yeah,
we almost forget like it's even
yeah,
an
all the
issue,
time.
really. Yeah, it's never an issue.
Yeah.
What's
Um,
interesting as well is that like it didn't play in Australia when it first started. It actually
really?
only played in the US, right, Mike?
Took 2 years.
Yep, took 2 years because of all the nonsense that happens when it comes to like networks. Like it's only like it's not an Adult Swim thing. It's just like
mhm.
it's just the stuff that happens when it comes to like shows going abroad. So it didn't. Yeah, for 2 years it didn't even play in Australia.
It,
was
it
just
did have
America.
billboards here, though. It had billboards in Australia.
Yeah, we have
but
billboards.
we couldn't watch it. I thought that was a pretty funny joke on Adult Swim's behalf, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, an expensive joke, but
Yeah.
it's so good.
They're the best kinds, yeah.
Todd saw a billboard in the middle of COVID where there was like no one in the street, just like he like walked.
Just
out of the
me.
train
It was just
station.
me and some seagulls. It was surreal.
Yeah.
Looking up at Rachel's face, staring down at me, neon sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of going off of that, just a little off topic. If anyone, any listeners like from America visit Australia, what do you think the first thing they should do or visit when they go back?
I think I would probably like because there's like
Go to
the
Wollongong.
go to Wollongong. I was going to say there's almost cliche things like Petaquala. Like obviously that's great, but I'd go to like Wollongong, Sydney, Melbourne, and the cities and try to find like good pubs and bars. And I think it's like the nuances of Australia are more interesting than the kind of like the cracker shrimp on the Barbie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that being said, it doesn't take long to get kind of out of the city either. So you could drive for 1 hour out of the middle of a city, and you could find yourself in the middle of what feels like the country, basically. So do that as well. Drive about an hour out, any direction.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
so
the
good.
most beautiful. I mean, we're obviously biased, but it's the most beautiful
Yeah.
country in the world. I love it's yeah. Just go anywhere and it'll be good.
Get
Okay.
some fishy chips.
Yeah.
Fish and chips.
Okay. Definitely writing down these recommendations.
These are so vague. So vague.
Go
recommendations.
out
Drive
and-
drive in a direction.
Mhm.
That's a
Eat
good
fish and
recommendation.
chips.
The BuzzFeed top 10.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's something. Can you guys talk a little bit about the voices? I love, where you kind of take the direction with these characters. Sarah in particular, there's like some lines that character, or just like dying laughing. Can you talk a little bit about that? And then just for the finale too, feels like there's like some emotional places too that their friendship goes.
Yeah, well, for me, it was interesting because I kind of came into this where this character had already been established on YouTube by Michael. So it was this kind of fun thing of like finding, there's these kind of dry, almost deadpan kind of, but then sometimes also bitchy lines that Michael would do. So it was like me trying to like do those moments justice, but then also kind of have the kind of nervous, but slightly more like authentic or grounded voice in the series.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's yeah, because it's just like, just the characters. I love how they're like ordinary people just kind of going against these like extraordinary like plots or surrealistic plots, each week. So, yeah. Is that difficult, or just kind of how do you guys feel like just some of the some of the concepts and everything? I was just curious.
Well, I think everybody deals with them pretty well, considering there's so much chaos and lots of death too. Everybody's dealing with death like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Which I do appreciate. I quite like that. I like how nonchalant everything is in the universe. Basically, someone could blow up and it's like, oh wow, okay, yeah, right, keep on going. Somebody gets crushed by something and say, oh goodness, somebody gets a piece of glass in the eye.
Yeah.
But there's always that like, oh, that just happened. Wow, bloody hell. All right, keep on going then. Yep. I guess that's a pretty Aussie thing to do, isn't it? It's like, oh goodness me, bloody hell, look what just happened. Anyway, what were we saying?
Yeah. Yeah. And then just a question for Michael. What made you want to do this like a three-part finale, or just kind of just like have this kind of story told in like a few parts?
I think it was because we did a two-part finale in the first season, and it was this one we had more episodes. We had 10 all up this time, and the whole season as a whole was more serialized. So it felt like it made sense to have more time to pay off everything that was set up. Because having a 2 11-minute things is like good time, but it's still just like pretty much the time of like a normal half an hour show. So it's probably not enough. We just need that little bit more to really pay it off.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah, because no, I was really loving the finale, and yeah, no, it came out awesome. How do you guys kind of feel about the friendship between the two characters, Sarah and Rachel, and just kind of seeing them like go through like, I don't know, some kind of like a real friendship too. You have some friends where you just can't stand them for weeks or something.
Mm-hmm. Sarah and Todd, do you want to take that?
Yeah, it feels very real. Like scarily real to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. I love I love that it's so dynamic and volatile, because I think it makes it more interesting to keep watching where they go. And we keep talking about how there's something really beautiful about their loyalty to each other, even if we do know that it's fraught.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always love seeing what pushes Rachel over the edge, like she's the one who just sort of drags Sarah along to everything, puts her through these ridiculous trials, and expects her to just kind of come along. But as soon as Sarah turns around and gives it back, it's sort of, that's it, that's sort of it. She goes, nah, that's not on, now we're not friends anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like seeing them, have to sort that out, because Rachel's she's very up and down, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same. I also like seeing when Rachel's like hurt or emotional about something. Like when she's pissed off at Sarah, like about like, oh, I was the one that want to be empress. Like, I mean, at least for me, like personally, like I felt that. I actually felt that Rachel actually was hurt by that, and it's fun. Like just seeing such a chaotic, like demonic character feeling those emotions is interesting.
Right. I think my favorite part of that is this whole story arc that they're both having. They're both unaware of each other's. And Rachel just seems to assume that it's like, yeah, you knew I wanted to be Empress. No, I didn't.
No,
like,
I didn't. Yeah.
she's not mentioned that at any point. You know, it's like she just is meant to know or something like that. So it's funny.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. How did you pitch these characters, Michael? Just kind of Sarah and Rachel.
So I already made a cartoon called YOLO and YOLO 2 in like 2012 and 2014 for YouTube, and I had these characters, and they weren't really fleshed out. It was more just, you know, the party duo, the Australian party girl duo going out having a good time. It goes chaotic and weird. So a few years later, when I made Bushwater Adventures for Adult Swim, Adult Swim were interested in doing more episodes of that, but they didn't want it to be the Rick and Morty thing. They kind of thought, you know, it'd be cool to come up with new characters. And I already had, you know, the YOLO characters there, and I don't know, it just seemed right to use them because I just felt like I hadn't seen anything like that before, and just wanted to kind of pursue it. And it was good because you had like the feminine energy of the duo, but you can also have like a lot of like rough, like dirty stuff happening like around them, like kind of, you know, you can have like the feminine and the masculine stuff as a nice kind of like mesh. So yeah, I don't know, it just seemed to make sense.
Okay, very cool. And then I also love Smiling Friends. It's a great show. Would you guys ever want to see any like characters cross over into YOLO?
I feel like they're different universes because I like keeping. I'll probably keep them separate, unless like
it's funny. I feel the same. I think somehow, I mean, although they're both you know, Cusack's characters and obviously Zach's characters as well in Smiling Friends, there's some. Yeah, there is a bit of a like. I wouldn't see them fitting in each other's universes. I would figure that, you know, the YOLO characters would fit better in the Bluey universe or something like that, you know, rather than the Smiling Friends universe.
Very different tonally. And when Zach and I write, it's much different, I think, to how YOLO pans out. So yeah, I do see it as two different worlds. Yeah. I don't know.
But like, draw fan art, please. Do
Yeah.
a bunch of like,
You know, put that all on Twitter and everything.
Yeah.
While we still have,
Absolutely.
we still have Twitter, I guess.
yeah, for sure. Next few weeks,
Yeah.
months.
But on YOLO, it's interesting. Social media plays a lot of you know, influence on some of the plot. Is there any like annoying trends that you guys just like dislike that you see, or just kind of, you know, vent on, what have you?
Annoying trends. I got annoyed by stuff like that more when I was younger. Now, yeah, I mean, there is stuff, definitely. I feel like actually, you know what, trends like the whole like planking and like I feel like that doesn't happen as much anymore.
Yeah,
Like
the
Tide
dangerous
Pods,
ones.
yeah, like that
Yeah.
seemed to chill out in the last few years.
I think that's maybe that's because of TikTok, because it's so quick now. There's so many different trends. The only one, like, I'm the same as Cusack. I like, when I was younger, I go like, for some reason I just dislike a trend, and I don't really know why, because everyone was doing it and I was a non-conformist or something. But yeah, these days I kind of like getting on board with some of the trends. The only one that's irking me at the moment is when I'm on TikTok and people use the SpongeBob voice filter for just a normal conversation. Like, I love that filter, don't get me wrong, but like everybody's just talking, like telling regular life stories like that with the SpongeBob filter, and it just like puts me off every time. I can't listen to it. It's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the only one.
Yeah, I like the have you seen the long dog like greyhound trend where didn't I do it for you? Have you seen that? I see that it's destroyed my
everywhere.
algorithm. It's just everywhere. Yeah. And I don't get sick of it. Like, I don't get sick of it. Like, I don't know why. And, like, there's a lot of trends like that. I just like, yeah, I just like there's a bunch of Family Guy ones too. I'm like a mindless consumer when it comes to that stuff.
The algorithm, it's always listening. And then one last question for you. We tweeted out just a viewer question, and I'm just picking one here. Someone wanted to know about the planned dance interlude from the first season of YOLO.
Oh yeah, the live action dance.
Hmm.
Yeah. What do they want to know?
Oh, they were just curious if it could come back or used again, or
Probably. I think that was probably a one-off because like
okay.
Sarah drank a strange drink with God knows what was in it, and I think that's definitely sparked that kind of mind-altering thing that she was going on, the weird trip. So yeah, I don't know. I think that was a one-off. I don't think that would come back.
Okay.
But that being said, there is a little smidge of live action coming
Yes.
up in
Mhm.
the finale. If that's
There
what
is live
Jermaine-
action, but yeah, no dance. No, I mean, actually, yeah.
And
Okay.
cameo.
There
I
is
think
live
the
action.
person who asked this question will be happy. with
They'll be
the
happy. It just won't be me. If they
Okay.
if they want to see me, I'm sorry, it's not me. No, that'll
Gotcha.
be it'll be better. Trust me.
Awesome. But yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for your time and everything. The season finale airs on March 5th, and yeah, we watched it and go check it out. If you guys want to plug any social media handles or what have you, yeah.
I've got just Michael Cusack. Just follow me on Instagram for dumb posts.
Yeah, I'm Windows Media Player on Instagram. if anybody wants to
Underscores
find me.
between those words.
Gotcha.
And
Oh.
I'm Sarah E. Bishop if you want to see pictures of my dog.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We've been professionally unprofessional.